Good morning, ladies. I hope everyone is having a lovely day. And if you're not, I hope that this video and the content in this video will help you to have a better day. If I sound a little congested, it's because I've just gotten over a flu cold thing. Pretty sure it was the flu with a whole sinus infection situation. It was very cleansing. It was nice that I got a chance to rest. But 10 out of 10 do not recommend. So make sure you're taking your vitamins, you're drinking water, you are outside walking, taking in fresh air, doing the healthy things to support your body, to prevent sickness. I've noticed earlier and earlier in the year, like late summers when bugs start going around. I don't know why that is. I'm not gonna affirm it. Excuse me. But anyways, I'm so excited to be back. And today's video topic is going to be a little more freeform. These are my favorite videos to do, is when I kind of free flow through several topics and just speak from my heart. Some people call it channeling. Some people call it getting a download. You can call it whatever you like. I kind of like to think about it as, you know how we do creative writing, where we just do free flow journaling, where you sit down and you just write. It's kind of like that, but I am recording a video and I am free flow speaking. So bear with me here if this video is all over the place, but I promise you that there will be some really impactful messages here shared today. And yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing this time with me. And I hope that there is a tidbit of value for you to make your day better, to make your manifestation journey easier, to encourage you to keep going. So this morning I did a journal entry on circumstances. If you haven't yet checked, we have a community tab here on YouTube where you can vote for the monthly video topic. This is my way of creating engagement for you, so you feel like you're involved in the channel content, you feel like you're getting your most burning questions answered, and making it so that the content that I'm creating is actually helpful to you. So in the community tab, we already have a poll going for September's video, and by far the leading request is for timing, which is what inspired me to write about circumstances this morning, as well as some personal things. Of course, like I got to go see family, it was great, but that experience also shaped how I'm perceiving myself. And so all of that in the mix is what we're going to talk about: circumstances, self-concept, and growth, and such and such. So back to circumstances. What most manifestation coaches have been doing and saying, and this is myself included, is we say the expression circumstances don't matter. And that's only a half truth. Because realistically, those circumstances do matter, but they only mean what we say that they mean. So, right, I'm getting over an illness, a bug, and I could use this as an excuse to be really upset. I could make it the meaning that, oh, all of my plans are thrown off. I could give sickness the meaning that I'm weak, my body's not strong, I'm not healthy. I could give this sickness any meaning that I want to give it, this circumstance any meaning that I want to give it. And so what we're really trying to get at when we teach you circumstances don't matter is that circumstances don't have any inherent meaning. They only have the meaning that we give them. So instead of getting bogged down and feeling like, this sickness means like the worst of the worst of the worst, instead I go, what if this sickness was teaching me that I need to just take a rest? What if this sickness was bringing awareness to the fact that, okay, I have been slacking on my physical health journey a little bit, if I'm being really honest, I haven't been in alignment with my goals in that way. And so what if this moment in time, what if this circumstance and this experience is meant to be teaching me and reminding me of what's important to me, and reminding me that yes, I'm young and I'm healthy, but I'm not invulnerable to illness, that I'm not incapable of falling ill at some point. And what does that mean? That means that when I am in a good state of being, when I am in a clear mindset, when I am physically capable of taking action, I need to be taking action, because there will come a time, sometime in the future, I pray that it's not anytime soon, where I will be decommissioned again, where my body will not be able to keep up with the goals that I have in my spirit. And so that's the meaning I've given this circumstance, is it's a reminder to stick with my goals. It's a reminder to be grateful for my health when I have it. It's a reminder to use my time well. And in that way, those circumstances do matter to me because they gave me that reminder, because they are affirming that meaning for me. So again, in writing this journal entry this morning, and 10 out of 10, I do recommend journaling for you. If you haven't done it, there are no rules in journaling. It doesn't matter if you don't know how to spell properly, or if your hand cramps up, or if you have ADHD like me and you have to stop 5 times in the middle of writing one page, okay? Because that was me this morning. I was making breakfast. I kept having to blow my nose, got up to go to the bathroom, got up to drink water, all of that stuff while I was writing, but I still did it. I still finished it. Pardon me. The brilliant thing is that it really helped me to put into perspective some of the things in the past few weeks that I've been learning. And the most important thing about that journal entry was bringing my awareness back to the fact that if circumstances have no inherent meaning, meaning they're neutral, circumstances are neutral, that's why they don't matter. You make them matter. You give them power, which means the power is yours. The power is yours to begin with. The power is yours through the whole process of experiencing the circumstance. And the power is yours in the finality of that circumstance. So if you're feeling really bogged down by what's happening around you, give it a new meaning. You have the power to do that. If you and your partner are fighting, give that a meaning. Give that a meaning that says, we're only fighting so we can become better communicators, so that we can better support one another in the future. If you're not being recognized at work and you've already been having doubts about that job, and you realize like, oh, I'm not being appreciated here, give that the meaning that this must just be the universe's way of telling you that something better is waiting for you, that there's a better position around the corner, that your skills and your energy and your presence would be better appreciated elsewhere. Give it that meaning. Give it that meaning, because you can. And even if you defining the circumstances is so divorced from reality, and it's so opposite of what the circumstances are wanting you to believe, or what anybody else in your worldview wants you to believe, whether that's because conditioning you received in school or family conditioning or just from your lived experience, it doesn't matter. Give it the meaning that you want it to have. And I touched on this in my Dealing with the 3D Circumstances video, one of the 2 that I just posted, where I talked about if my husband comes home and he's having a bad day, I can choose to give it the meaning that it's all my fault, that I'm a terrible person, that I deserve to just have a grumpy person to deal with. Or I can give it the meaning that, you know what, sometimes we have bad days. Sometimes he has to deal with customers that are not that friendly to him. Sometimes he's just stressed out and he's dealing with a lot of things, and I can be more compassionate towards him, and how can I support him better in this position? Rather than making it all about me, I allow myself to give it the meaning that this is for my benefit. Some way, somehow, this is for my benefit. So, excuse me, that's the first thing that I wanted to talk about. I was not coughing, excuse me, I was not coughing at all. I've been walking for half an hour, and I was not coughing at all until now, of course. Thankfully, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling so much better today. Anyways, the next thing that I wanted to touch on is when we grow, it changes our perspective. So seeing my family was wonderful. I love them all, bless them all. They're beautiful people. They live their own lives. They have their own perspectives. Excuse me. As far as I know, most of my family is, they're people of faith. My mom is Catholic. My dad is Christian. I believe my little sister is Catholic. I'm not too sure. We don't have those kinds of conversations about like which religion denomination or whatever denomination are you in. Like we don't talk about that. We talk about like spirituality and the purpose of it. So in that way we're on the same page. But what I was observing in my circumstances, and whether this is just a belief of my conditioning or whether this is part of my personal journey of evolution, it doesn't really matter to me why I had this revelation. But I visited them about the same time last year, and last year I felt like we were closer in vibration. And what I mean by that is we were closer in mindset last year. We were closer in how we spoke about opportunity last year. We were closer in how we felt about money last year. We were closer in health last year, or lack of health in some ways. We were closer in that we were on the same level of complaining and being cynical last year. So since last year, this time, and this year, a whole year of evolution, I felt so detached from my family. I felt like they were strangers to me. And not in a sense like, oh, I don't know who you are, but in a sense of like, I can't really relate to you. And it was heartbreaking and it was bittersweet because it made me realize all this work that I've been putting into myself is working. And so for that, I'm grateful. And it also helped me to understand that even our family has a role to serve in our life. Even our loved ones who have been there to help us get to where we're at can't always stay on the same page as us, and they're not meant to because they're on their own journey. And there's nothing wrong with that, and there's nothing bad about it, but it's something that as we get older we have to acknowledge. And so the perspective that it really gave me was, wow, this is actually working, which, I mean, you would be surprised how many times that you're manifesting consciously and you're still shocked when it works and you're still shocked at your own results. And the same goes for physical fitness, and the same goes for any type of mental health or any type of measurable journey where basically you are looking for proof. You're looking for evidence to confirm to you what you already know. And I think that that's what this trip did for me. It was like I already knew that I had developed myself as a person. I already knew that, I mean, I'm growing in business. I'm maintaining success in my health, my physical health. My mental health has surely improved since last year. I may still have down days, but I go back to goodness much quicker than I used to. It's much easier for me to turn a bad situation into a good one in my mind than it used to be. And whatever value that progress is, I'm not measuring the value itself, but the fact that I've changed is valuable enough to me. And it's a really beautiful thing when you have similar circumstances arise and you deal with them differently, and you deal with them in a more mature way and in a more empowered way. And it can be really painful sometimes to realize that like your family and friends are no longer in the same mindset that you're at, so you can't have them as close as you want them to, or you have to redefine that relationship. But it also means that you're that much closer to reaching whatever goals you have set out for yourself. And like, if it costs me my relationship with anybody at this point to grow and develop myself, to grow closer to God, to develop my spirituality, to get closer to fulfilling my purpose, like, I'm gonna do it. And I'm not afraid of that, because my vision for myself, my ideal self, never stops growing. And even attachments to other people can become our comfort zone, and those attachments may stop serving us at a certain point, and being able to let those attachments go when and where it's appropriate to let them go, mind you, not to just let people go because you don't care about people, but to understand the role of other individuals in your own journey, is really profound wisdom. It's a level that I hope everyone aspires to reach, so that we can continue to grow and develop as human beings to our highest potential, and not hold ourselves back just because the people that we love the most are trying to keep us in a little box, right? And I'm not sure where I learned it or who said it first or whatever, but maybe Brene Brown, maybe Simon Sinek, maybe Mel Robbins. I don't know. I listen to a lot of wisdom from a lot of people who have lived a lot of life. But essentially, the people who love you when you're a child will always see you as that child version of you. And so when you start to identify as something else, you're causing them to lose that version of you. You're taking that version that they love of you away from them. And in that way, they're not ever going to be able to be satisfied with who you're becoming, because they're so attached to that old version of you. But you're not attached to that old version of you anymore. And what would it cost you to go back to being that old version? Oftentimes it's not going to be worth it. And you'll find the same in relationships. When you finally decide that you're done with whatever cycle you've been living in a relationship, but there's that little part of you that is like, reminiscing and, it would be great to go back. But then the rational side of you goes, but what would I have to sacrifice to go back? Who would I have to become to go back? I've come too far. For me, like, I don't ever look back at my past relationships with a longing, with a, like, I miss them. I never have that feeling. I always have, I've really evolved, and I'm so glad that I'm not there anymore, because that version of me who was tolerating that treatment, who was accepting those breadcrumbs and like settling for less, like, I will never be her again. And as heartbreaking as it can be to distance from your family, and to outgrow people, places, and things, to outgrow jobs, to outgrow friendships, to outgrow relationships, to outgrow closeness with your family in certain ways, it's always worth it. It's always worth it in the end, because when you outgrow something in your circumstances, that means a better circumstance is waiting for you. It's calling you forward. You're not just being driven away from what isn't working for you anymore. You're being called towards what will work for you as this new you. So my final word for this video is to let go. Let go of whatever attachments you feel like you have to people, places, and things. Let go of the attachment that you have to that old version of yourself, because Lord knows we all get attached to the version of ourselves that we are, because that version served us for so long. That version kept us alive, it kept us safe, it kept us healthy. But a more alive, a more vibrant, more safe, more healthy, more happy, more joyful, more successful version of you is birthing right now. And the only way to let it go, the only way to bring about this new version is by letting go of what is no longer serving you. So remember to tell your circumstances what to do. Give yourself meaning, Give your circumstances a meaning to yourself, to reclaim your power, to put yourself back in the driver's seat, to remind yourself that you're the director of this movie, that you get to decide how each character feels about what and how they navigate whatever circumstances come about. You decide. But yeah, anyways, I'm going to remind you again to drink water, get some sunlight, take your vitamins, and have a good day. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel for more. Hit the bell icon to be notified. I will be doing my first channel live on this channel when we hit 2,500 subscribers. We're at 2424 right now as of this morning. So let's get that subscriber count up. I will do our first live when we hit 2,500 subscribers. Okay, anyways, bye.